Life has a way of testing you. Just when you think things are finally falling into place, it all comes crashing down in a moment of betrayal. I had always been the steady one, the one who worked hard, kept his head down, and did what was expected. But my brother Michael, he was the opposite, wild, carefree, and unpredictable. Growing up, it felt like I was invisible next to him. He was the life of the party, the one everyone loved, the one who could do no wrong in my parents' eyes. My whole life, I had been living in his shadow. It wasn't just small things. It was every aspect of our lives. Our parents would always say, "Why can't you be more like Michael? He's so charismatic, so charming. You need to be more like him." Even when I brought home good grades or a trophy for some achievement, it was never enough. Michael's effortless charisma was all they saw, and I always felt like I was fighting to be seen at all. But things started to change when I left for college. I finally felt free from the comparisons, the judgments. I studied hard, made a name for myself, and eventually met Sarah. She was everything I could ever want, smart, compassionate, and beautiful. She accepted me for who I was, not for who my family thought I should be. I married her a few years later, and for the first time in my life, I felt like I had something that was truly mine. But then Michael came back into our lives. He had been gone for a few years, drifting from place to place, living the kind of life that didn't seem to have any real direction. I tried to keep my distance. He had always been a thorn in my side, but Sarah wanted to reconnect. She always believed people could change, and she thought that maybe, just maybe, Michael was different. She was wrong. Michael was still the same. He still had that magnetic charm that pulled people in, and for a while I convinced myself that maybe he had grown up, maybe he had finally figured it out. But deep down, I could feel the same old tension brewing between us. He started coming over more often, hanging around Sarah more, and I started feeling uncomfortable. But I didn't say anything. I didn't want to sound paranoid, but I should have said something. I should have trusted my instincts. One night Sarah came to me, her face pale, her hands shaking. She couldn't look me in the eyes. She told me she had something to confess. At first I thought it was about something small. Maybe she had forgotten to pick up the dry cleaning or something. But then she said the words I never saw coming. "I'm pregnant," she said, "and it's not yours, it's Michael's." My whole world shattered in that moment. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. Michael, my brother, the man who had made my life hell for years, the man I had spent my entire life trying to get away from. He had betrayed me in the worst way possible. He had crossed a line that could never be undone. The pain was unbearable. I felt like I was suffocating, drowning in betrayal. Sarah tried to explain, but nothing she said made it better. She told me that she had been feeling distant from me for a while, and Michael had been there for her when I wasn't. She said, it was a mistake, that it wasn't planned, but I couldn't hear her anymore. All I could feel was the burning anger and hurt consuming me. I confronted Michael. He didn't even try to deny it. He said the words that made my blood boil. "I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean for this to happen. It was a mistake. I was confused, and I wasn't thinking. I wanted to punch him. I wanted to scream, to make him feel the same pain I was feeling, but I didn't. I just walked away." Months passed, and I went through the motions. Sarah was trying to fix things, but it wasn't the same. I could never look at her the same way again. The trust was gone. My brother's betrayal had cut too deep, but life had a way of pushing me forward, whether I liked it or not. And then, out of nowhere, our parents died. They'd been in a car accident, a tragic, unexpected thing. I hadn't been close to them for years, not after their constant favoritism toward Michael. But their death changed everything. It wasn't just the grief, it was the inheritance. They had left me everything, $5 million. All their assets, their property, their fortune, it was all mine. They had completely disowned Michael, no explanation, no reason. They simply left him nothing. And that's when things took a dark turn. A few weeks after the funeral, Michael showed up at my doorstep. He looked a mess, unshaven, disheveled, eyes hollow like he hadn't slept in days. I could feel the anger rising in me, but I held it back. "I need your help," he said, his voice shaky. I couldn't even look at him. What do you want? I'm in trouble, he continued, looking more desperate with every word. I've lost everything. I'm homeless. I have nothing left. I know you hate me, and I know I don't deserve your help, but please, just hear me out. I need you to help me get back on my feet. My mind raced. This was the same man who had ruined my life, the same man who had betrayed me in the worst way possible, the same man who had destroyed my family and shattered everything I had built. And now, after all that, he wanted my help? But then he dropped the bombshell. They disowned me, he said, his voice cracking. Our parents left everything to you. They didn't even leave me a dime. I'm not asking for the money. I'm asking for a chance, a way to fix this. Please, I know I screwed up, but I need to start over. I need to get out of this hole I'm in. I stood there, frozen, caught between the past and the present. Every part of me wanted to slam the door in his face to tell him to figure it out on his own. But then I thought about the inheritance, about the wealth, the power, the opportunities that came with it. And I thought about the baby, the innocent child he had helped create. If I helped him, it could mean keeping him in my life, and I wasn't sure I was ready for that. But if I didn't, he would sink further into despair, and I knew that if anything, he needed someone to pull him out. I don't know if I can help you, I said, my voice strained. After everything, I don't know if I can just forget what you did. I don't expect you to forget, he said, his voice barely a whisper. I just need a chance, please. It felt like my whole world was crashing down again. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't think. My brother, the man who had caused me so much pain, was asking me for help. And I was standing at a crossroads. The road ahead was unclear, but I knew one thing. Helping him would change everything. And so I had a choice to make. Do I help the man who had destroyed my life, knowing the risks? Or do I turn my back, knowing that I might lose him forever? And that the consequences would follow me for the rest of my life? I didn't know the answer, but I was about to find out. What would you do if your world fell apart? How would you move forward? Let me know in the comments, and if this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more.